Popularity. What is it made of? How does a person get to be popular with lots of people and have a few close friends too? Let's watch and see.
Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, honey, so our friendship ceases from now on.
Hey everybody, it's 2019.
True story.
I'm your boy Tom.
I'm your boy Kimber.
And welcome to Odd Shape Panel Live. Real quick, let's do a rundown of everybody in the chat. Hello Billy, hello Eric Ossemacher, hello Joseph Davis, I assume Ashley is close by. Hello to you too. Hello Tom Zambino, and hello Delisha. Hello, welcome. So we hope everyone had a happy new year. And we're going to be talking about, things that went down in 2018. Now, we asked for questions, and we got some personal ones. And a lot of people asked us, what was the biggest decision we made in 2018? And I think that was moving to Austin.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. And that was a move for the better. We love it here, and the people are great, and the work is great, and the weather is wonderful.
We found Vinny.
We got Vinny. So definitely moving to Austin would be the biggest thing that happened to us this year and the biggest decision that we made.
For sure. But what about you in the chat? Let us know, and we'll read it. Let's see. Well, Billy was the first one in the chat, and he happens to also be a patron producer. So, Billy, if you're ready, let us know, and we'll have you call in first. For anyone who is watching and doesn't know how the show works, it's 4 questions down in the description. Tonight's questions are, what is the best movie of 2018? What is the best season? What series had the best season of 2018? What celebrity won 2018? And what movie are you looking forward to in 2019? And Billy says he's ready. And if you're watching and you want to call in and you have Google Hangouts, you can do that. Just let us know. All right, Billy is ready. So let's see if I can.
He's not just going to randomly pop in.
He hasn't been doing that lately.
It's been known to happen, though.
Hydration.
What's up, guys?
Hey there, what's up?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. How was your 2018 as a whole?
As a whole, pretty good. Could have been better in some stuff, but that's every year. You learn from your mistakes, and you just you always look forward.
For sure. And did you have a biggest decision that you made in 2018?
Yeah, I left something that I am glad I left. I'm not going to say what it is, but yeah, it was better for my sanity, and yeah.
Cool.
Sanity is important.
Not really any huge decisions like moving or nothing like that yet. Although that's probably going to happen.
Well, I can think of a big moment for Billy this year.
Yeah, same.
And I don't want to blow up your
yeah, that's right.
spot, but there was a very special episode this year.
Silence.
I'm not gonna blow up the spot.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, and I got a show from you. Forgot about that.
Oh yeah. Which I try to start editing again now that I've updated. Hopefully, I'll make some headway. But let's get to the questions. Billy, what is your favorite movie, or what do you think is the best movie, maybe not even your favorite, of 2018?
This actually is going to be my favorite one, and it's Won't You Be My Neighbor? It's the Mr. Rogers documentary.
Nice.
Like, you got to understand, I didn't grow up with Mr. Rogers, so, like, I knew of him, and I knew, like, generally what he was about, like, you know, the puppets and the low set, and how he was just very, very nice, not like super hardcore or anything, just for the kids, like Sesame Street or something like that. I learned so much about this guy and just the impact he had on so many people's lives, like, and how he was just a good person. And there was one part in the movie where I actually cried. They play a clip from the show, and it's about it's the lesson is that the puppet feels like, I forget what its name was, but it felt like it was a mistake, and it kept saying, "I'm a mistake," and the other person who's one of the humans is like, "No, you're not." And I was just bawling throughout that whole thing. And the last time I cried in theaters was Coco.
Yeah.
It's very hard for me to cry in the theater. At home, all the time. If it's an emotional movie, all the time. But yeah, I just had a great experience, and I highly recommend it for anybody. You don't even have to be a big fan of Mr. Rogers. Just please go see this. Rent it. I think it's on Hulu, so.
Oh, that's good, because I did want to see it, because I did grow up on Mr. Rogers. I don't remember specific episodes, but I do remember the cat puppet. What was it?
I'm trying to remember. He has his own show now, but Daniel Tiger.
No, not Daniel Tiger. But you're close.
Oh no, I know who you're thinking of, but I can't think of the name either.
But yeah, so I was interested in seeing it. I just didn't get a chance to go see it. But speaking of movies that made me cry in a theater, I think the best movie is A Star Is Born. I don't know if I took your pick. We can both talk about it if that was your pick.
It was one of my picks.
Okay. Well, do you want to help me talk about it?
You say what you need to say, because...
Okay. Well, I think you're going to have the Gaga. She obviously did an amazing job, and I'm sure you're going to have plenty to say about that. I was extremely blown away that this was Bradley Cooper's first directorial, his directorial debut. His first movie, is what I was trying to say. And not only that, I was worried about how he would sound, and like if it like would look like somebody else was playing like guitar and stuff.
He learned to play guitar for the movie.
I was really surprised and taken aback, and the music was really good, but not what I was expecting. I'll let you.
Yeah, Gaga is a queen, basically, and this was like long awaited for me because she had never done a movie before, and I had seen her, of course, in like American Horror Story and stuff, acting, which I really enjoyed, Hotel particularly, from her, but this was on a whole nother level, and she was just really charming in this movie, and they had a really unexpected, sweet chemistry with each other. That I didn't really see coming, and it just blew me away. And like you went definitely talking about crying in movies, when the lights came on in our theater, literally every person was bawling. Like it was a mess.
They didn't like softly dim up. They just were like boom.
Did you want to say something?
I cried during Stars Born as well. I completely forgot, and I forgot to put it on like my top 10, but it's definitely on my top 10, probably top 5 even. I agree with everything you said. I feel like, the songs were very good. Bradley Cooper, great. He got Sam Elliott, so that's instantly a plus. And Lady Gaga, I'm glad that people are like now taking her seriously as an actor. Because yeah, she knocked it out of the park.
For sure. And I don't think a lot of people also think about the fact that those songs are like their live performances of the songs when they were filming the movie, which is amazing because they sounded great together. And some of those songs I still can't even listen to yet because they make me sad. But it is a great soundtrack, arguably some of her best work, and it's just the whole movie all around was as good as my high expectations wanted it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And my other pick was...
Well, did you want to, because I have a second pick too, did you want to save that for the next caller, or do you want to do that now?
No, I'm just going to do it now.
Okay.
Infinity War.
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal. Whether you liked what they did with it or not, it was a huge achievement for them to take so many characters and move them into one plot and have it not be a huge muddled mess. I think that they introduced some cool villains, particularly Maw, Ebony Maw, who was really neat. And I think that they left everybody's jaw dropped with what they did at the end of the movie. It was really ballsy and just interesting and on a scale of which we've never seen before. So just a huge achievement for superhero movies and movies in general. They've never really done anything that massive, and I think they pulled it off really well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that was definitely one I was thinking, but I feel like it was going to get plenty of love, but well deservingly. I also Spider-Verse was this year, was 18, was it not?
Yeah,
it was right at the tail end, and I thought one of the best animated movies I've seen in a while, especially coming out of Comic Book House. It used to be DC used to pump out really good animated movies, and they haven't been great lately, but it's cool to see somebody stepping up to the plate. So yeah, who thought it'd be Sony?
Yeah, again, movies that made us cry. Spider-Verse got surprisingly emotional there as well, particularly losing Stan Lee so soon before it was released. And, of course, it does have some love for Stan in the movie. And
speaking of Spider-Man, Spider-Man did well 2018. The game came out. I'm still playing it on our Let's Plays, but I'm really enjoying it. And Stan Lee had a cameo in that too. And it was like 3 or 4 days before he had passed. And I was saying it on stream. I was like, man, if this scene had come up like right after he passed, I would have broke down on stream. So I'm glad it didn't happen that way. But it's been a good year for Spider-Man. Venom came out too, even though it's not attached to Spider-Man. And I guess we can call that somewhat of a win. It did okay.
It's a thing.
People are telling me it's all right if you can remove yourself from. I'm just such a Spider fan that it's hard for me, but I gotta get over it.
It's a turd in the wind.
Yeah, but no, Spider-Verse is amazing. It's also part of my top 10. Actually, 3 of my top 10 ended up coming out in December, and that was Spider-Verse, Bumblebee, and Aquaman. Surprise, surprise. But Aquaman's not as high as you think it is. But yeah, Spider-Man, the only really criticism that I can give it is the animation takes a little bit of time to get used to. Because it was like, if you have epilepsy or something, definitely I'm gonna warn you. There is that whole ending is it's pretty intense. But aside from that, crushed it. Best superhero movie of the year.
One of the funniest things that I've seen is Vincent D'Onofrio's head put onto the Kingpin from Spider-Verse's body, and it's terrifying.
They have a still of Kingpin far away, and somebody said it looked like the Millennium Falcon.
Okay. All right. Speaking of Kingpin, who was in a pretty good season of Daredevil this year. What series of a show had the best season of 2018?
It's kind of tough because there was a lot of great television this year. Once again, I can't choose Game of Thrones because that doesn't happen until April, and you can watch our after show on it, or their after show, The Night's Watch, which Kimber is wearing that lovely shirt there. But I chose American Crime Story, the assassination of Gianni Versace. I just thought that you're coming off of a high from The People versus OJ, and you do it as equally well. I mean, Darren Criss, oh my lord, I did not think he could play dramatic that well, because I had known him from stuff like Harry Potter musical or Glee, where he's this musical guy and he's very, very talented. But yeah, he like nailed it just as much as Sarah Paulson did for Marcia Clark. I thought he just won the Golden Globe yesterday, and I thought that was very well deserved. And yeah, if you want to learn about what happened to Versace, yeah, it's a pretty interesting research.
For sure. Yeah, I like Darren Criss a lot. He's really talented, and he did a run on Hedwig and Angry Inch as well.
Oh, that's cool.
He was one of the Hedwigs, but he's a talented guy.
Hi, Ashley.
Do you want me to go?
Yeah, go ahead. I was just saying hello.
Okay, I have two again. I'm Jasoning right now. I have two. My first pick is going to be The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I thought that was one of the better debuts for a first season of a show in a while. And I wasn't sure if I was going to like that show or not, because I really don't like Riverdale. It crosses a line of too corny for me, to the point where it's not enjoyable, and it's too, I think maybe too young, geared towards the younger audience for me to appreciate. But Sabrina has a really great balance of being appealing towards younger people, and then also kids who used to be creepy kids grown up like myself who just appreciate it. It was like the year of Satan on television, and for me,
and witches.
Yeah, for me that was the best season of Satan TV. My second choice is Glow season 2. Glow is beautiful. I love that show. I can't wait for more of it, and the second season once again delivered everything that I wanted and more. Stellar performances all around.
Way more than we expected.
Yeah, just a really excellent show, and one of my favorites that Netflix is doing right now.
For 3.
For sure.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to have to agree with you on both of those. I really did not expect, because you're telling me you're going to watch Sabrina, and then you're like, oh, I watched some Sabrina, and it's good. And I'm like
Candace almost pushed me into watching Sabrina. She was like, I'm going to watch this, and then I watched it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Jackson in the chat, he said he hasn't finished Sabrina. When you do, check out our recaps in our binge recap series.
Yeah, me and Candace have been doing recaps for Sabrina, and that will continue when the next season comes out, which I believe is also in April.
It is in April, yeah.
April's going to be crazy.
April's going to be nuts. I'm telling you guys. And also, I'm glad they somehow fit Salem into the show. I'm really happy. Salem was always my favorite character from Sabrina. And her aunts also.
Yeah.
They're pretty awesome.
They did a great job casting and then repurposing, like how they, and you guys talk about this more, but how they, like Ambrose is the sassy part of Salem from the show. Yeah. And then Salem is just a magical creature.
Yeah,
which
Jack's
is cool.
just like begging for no spoilers, so let's be careful and not
just
spoil anything.
This is just general terms. I'm
not getting into that plot.
But yeah, it was great. And it really gets better towards the end of that season too, Jack. So things to look forward to. Really good.
But my choice has to be, oh my god, season 1 of Barry.
Yes.
That was
excellent.
I was always looking forward to that coming back on, and because some shows you kind of fall like behind, and then you have to like catch up on everything. But like Barry was one that we sat down for every week.
Yeah. And partially due to No Hope.
Yeah, I was about to say the same
being
thing.
Really entertaining.
Oh God, Zaz from Gotham, if you don't know.
Jack, we're talking about our choices for best season of television that came out in 2018.
Why don't you call in and you can tell us? But yeah, that's my pick. Season 3 Daredevil was all right too, but I still preferred season 1. I think.
Yeah, Barry was a contender for one of my picks here, because Barry was just, again, exceeding expectations, better than what I thought it was going to be.
Luke Cage was good this year.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Right? I think that was true. That was early 2018, right?
Maybe. It's hard. I have to
It was March.
Yeah.
All right, question number 3. What celebrity, in your opinion, won 2018?
Oh, I like this because it is a very general, question, and you can interpret this in a couple of different ways. What I interpreted it as is just like who killed it the most, or who did I remember most this year. And for me personally, it was Lady Gaga because of Star is Born, man. I mean, talk about just like totally like everybody I had talked about, I was like, oh, Lady Gaga's gonna star in this because I knew that with catching up with movie news that the Star is Born remake is coming out, and I was like, okay, it's Bradley Cooper, he's probably gonna be good, and then Lady Gaga, a little interesting choice, but you know what? I liked her in Hotel, and I think she has a lot of promise, and I was rooting for her. And yeah, now she's possibly an Oscar contender. And I mean, again, she's just killing it. She's going to do a show in Vegas, like with Celine Dion. And yeah, things are really looking up for her. So I thought she won 2018.
Yeah, she was also my choice for who won 2018, and she actually did start her Vegas residency, and it's not with Celine Dion, but Celine Dion was in the audience. Like, that's how you know you're a badass,
Awesome.
when you have people like Celine Dion in the audience, and they had like a really sweet conversation and stuff before she started her show, and as I hear it, Gaga asked Celine for like advice, like, oh, you know, do you have any advice for this residency? And Celine supposedly told her, like, you don't need advice, like, you're badass and you've got this. And I think she is badass, and I think that she does have this, and really everything she has been doing recently has been on an entire another level of artistry and class than I think a lot of people anticipated from Lady Gaga. She's super talented all around. This woman is a songwriter. She's an actress. She's an amazing vocalist, and she's a showman.
And she's really smart as well. I found out she
is for
like
sure.
Like Harvard smart. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people understood that about her, and there's like an awakening going on to a lot of the general public who had thought that they knew who Gaga was. But this girl, like, Super Bowl performer, she's done it all, and there aren't too many people who are performers nowadays who have done as much as she has. Yeah, Jack says that Gaga's doing Madonna better than Madonna did, and it's funny that you say that because they asked Lady Gaga about Madonna made some comments about her comparing her to herself, and Gaga was like, yeah, but I write my own songs though. I play instruments though. So she definitely had a vibe where in the beginning, particularly, where I understand the comparison, but I'm going to side with Gaga and say that she's got a whole lot more going on than Madonna ever really did. She's just super talented. I don't know too many people ever that I can say have done the amount of things as well as she has. Like, who's done that? She does it all. She's the queen.
And equally as well in all fields.
Yeah.
Maybe Ed Sheeran, maybe Brandon Urie. You're right. I can't think of too many people that are on like a level of Lady Gaga. It's crazy. And I'm just gonna come out and say it. I didn't like her at first. I thought it was weird. I thought, what is this? Why is this woman wearing like dead Kermits? Why are you doing that to my dude? But then I listened to her music, and then I kept listening to her music, and then like she matured with like, or I started to appreciate what she was doing a lot more. And it's the ultimate never judge a book by its cover metaphor that I'm trying to get across. And yeah, now she's one of my favorites too.
Yeah, I've always loved her from the beginning, but I do think that a lot of the early shenanigans did distract away from how incredibly talented she was and is. And she just continues to get better. She's like a fine
So you remember
wine.
her, though.
And yeah, and even down to the outfit that she wore to the Golden Globes, like she stands out in the crowd even when it's really subdued and classy and beautiful. And I think that she's realized that she doesn't need all that shit. You know, she's gorgeous without all the makeup. She's just fucking brilliant all around, and I stan.
She's far from the shallows now.
Yeah. Who was your pick for this one?
I have multiple ones. I think we should give a big shout out. It is 2018 is being called the Year of the Women, and in all fields,
That's right.
it's really cool. Not to get too into politics, but there has been a resurgence of, well, no, record-breaking fucking. Anyway, attendance, I guess. I don't know, but in the film industry, there's a lot of people pulling for better wages. I don't know. I'm not the mouthpiece.
So you're
for
just
this.
saying women.
But women are
Women
awesome.
is Tom's choice.
I still like them, but I still have another choice, and that is I had it. And then I went away.
You're pulling to me, Tom.
It's because it's
My
Gaga
thing.
is the answer.
Gaga is like one of those women.
For sure.
It's inclusive. Man, I had one too. I'm sure I'll bring it back up again. Women are pretty great. Ashley agrees with me. What's your problem with women?
Donald Glover also had a really good year.
Yes.
He's someone to shout out to.
Yeah.
Solo.
Best part of Solo, first of all.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Uh,
Post Malone too.
he
He got
just-
cursed.
Donald Glover just got announced headlining like Coachella, I think, along
With
with
Rihanna?
Ariana
Ariana
Grande. So
Really?
that's really huge for him too. So he's all
Rihanna
around.
Grande.
He's all around having like a really good career moment, and that's great because Tom in particular has been following his career for a really long time. So
Only
I've only been following him since Community, and it's crazy to think how far he's come since then, and just like how famous he's becoming. He's gonna be Simba. I mean, my God, he's gonna be even more famous. He has an amazing rapping career, and he can actually rap and freestyle, which is very hard to do. Not anybody can do that. He's a good actor, good writer. Like, yeah. Once again,
yeah, this is America is the music video of the year for sure.
definitely the most. Yeah, you're right. It is the best music video.
Although follow up is that Cardi B's money.
That's my. I love her too, but we're not gonna get sidetracked.
But I mean, like we were saying with Lady Gaga, though, how just someone who's talented all around, Donald Glover is the same way.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a fourth question?
Fourth question is, what movie are you looking forward to the most in 2019? I think you know what my answer is. What's yours?
I'm actually, again, I'm not going to go with the obvious answer you would expect from me. And I'm going to go with Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Yes, that looks good. I like that.
It looks so good. I saw the second trailer in theaters. I want to see this on the biggest screen possible. It's giant monsters, and it's the old, like, King Ghidorah, Mothra, Rodan, and Godzilla, and they all look great. Mothra, oh my God. And you got Eleven, you got Coach Taylor from Friday Night Lights, Vera Farmiga. I think Charles Dance is in it. It's a great cast, and oh my God, it's gonna be awesome. I can't wait.
I heard a theory too that Charles Dance is playing the older version of Tom Hiddleston from Kong Island, and I'm like, oh, that would be really cool, like to picture. Like I like that connect. Like I like the younger version growing into Charles Dance.
Connects the what's known as the Monsterverse. It's the only other shared cinematic universe that I can tolerate.
Well, speaking of cinematic universes, Jack is excited for Endgame, which I think is an obvious choice. Captain Marvel. I'm going for another Captain Marvel. I'm so excited for Shazam and Catbutt. Shazam looks so much fun. I can't wait. I think they're gonna soft reboot if it works for them and it, you know what I mean. If they finally crack that code, I think it's gonna be good for DC.
See, I think that Aquaman was a good step towards that, and they have really just like one more big thing to crack, and that's just like the story, because it was Aquaman was a very good Phase 1 Marvel movie. Is the best way I can describe it. Like, I'm not immune to these criticisms. I totally get it. I loved it, and it was a blast. But I can totally say that it's ridiculous. I mean, there's an octopus playing drums. Come on. And
Under the sea.
yeah, it's like Little Mermaid and shit. But I agree. Shazam, it's big meets Superman. How does that? And I mean, yeah, it's big meets Superman. That's all I need to say. That sounds awesome. And Zachary Levi, great. And he's also an awesome person. I'd highly recommend following his Twitter. because he's very responsive to his fans.
Awesome.
Kimber, what was your pick?
Well, I'm going to just give a movie one real quick because there's a TV show that's more important next year.
This year.
This year. Oh, fuck. What year am I? So one that I'm really looking forward to is the third How to Train Your Dragon movie. I don't know what it is about the How to Train Your Dragon movies, but I'm a fantasy nerd and always have been, and Toothless is so precious. And the third one, like, I'm such a sucker. They started playing the trailer when we went with Ashley and Joe to go watch Spider-Verse, and I'm just sitting there like...
I know, reviews.
I'm gonna
Reviews
cry
came
too.
out for it like 2 days ago, and Kimber's like, "We can go watch it." I'm like, "It's not out till February," and she's like, "Why are people reviewing it?"
But yeah, that I'm really looking forward to. But obviously what I'm getting to is Game of Thrones last season is this year, finally. And to me, that's the most anticipated thing that I have coming up for me. Like, of course, like, I want to see Endgame. I want to see a lot of stuff that's coming out in April. I'm watching Miss Maisel too, currently, Ashley. But to me, finishing Game of Thrones and seeing what they're going to do to try to tie up this entire story in one short final season, I really have my fingers crossed that it's going to blow me away, because last season, unfortunately,
My theory's correct.
had its moments, but it also had other moments that I wasn't the hugest fan of, and I found it a little predictable if you are a book reader or if you're just really into Game of Thrones lore and you follow a lot of the fan theories and stuff. We pretty much knew where it was going, but this season is a completely off the books, and we don't know what they're going to do. And
Off limits.
yes, I am anticipating an ending that's going to upset a lot of people, but make me very happy. Because I
know what you
think everyone's going to die, y'all.
Yeah.
They're all going down.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to it. And, of course, I really love doing the Night's Watch with Cal. And we get to talk to Eric a lot during those times because
You get to make thumbnails.
he has to get his Stannis talk in there. And so, yeah, Game of Thrones ending is the end of an era. And I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh yeah. For How to Train Your Dragon, I would like to say two things. One, I had hair like Hiccup, and you know how I do voices. I was called Hiccup in college, so I have a picture of me with a stuffed Toothless. So that's nice. And it comes out on my parents' wedding anniversary, so
Aww.
That's gonna be very nice. It's gonna be a very emotional day, February 22nd.
And Toothless gets a little girlfriend. It's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, it's adorable. I'm about it. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's going to be a great year.
Well, some of you might remember that I love How to Train Your Dragon so much that on like my very first episode of Fan Friction, we argued a spinoff for a character, and what I argued was for Valka, who is the mother of Hiccup, to have a spinoff movie. So I'm glad that they're doing more of these. Obviously, I want more of these.
And that she has a presence in the new one.
Yeah,
You
she's
saw her in the
fucking
trailer, yeah.
dope. I love her. She's
And I like her
super rad.
influence on Hiccup's like
Outfit and stuff. Yeah.
it's cool.
Really cool.
All right, Billy. Well, did you have anything you wanted to plug? I know we don't have any new episodes of movies with Super Friends up yet, but we are working on that. Anything else? Where can people find you and that kind of stuff?
You can find me on Instagram at Billy Batson's Lightning. You can find me on Twitter at BBusterBill. All the B's are capitalized. I'm usually here every odd-shaped show if I can make it. And yeah, I just like talking movies. I like hanging out, and I like meeting new people and being chill.
All right. Well, it's always nice to see you, buddy. And hopefully you'll be around in the chat.
I will. Have a good night.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Damn it. He's too quick for you. Gotta be
All right.
quick.
Joe and Ashley, I think you're still running errands.
Raul is here.
TJ, are you in the chat? And if not, Raul, are you calling in? And then if no one is there, that's all the patron producers. So then we got to start up with the Fast Pass. The Fast Pass. That was a lovely call.
Of course. Ashley says we are.
Ooh. Okay, so we got Ashley and we got Raul, and then if TJ pokes his head in, we'll figure out where he's going. I'm setting it to Joe. How is Raul not a moderator?
I don't know. He should be.
He's a moderator now. How's TJ not a moderator?
I hope that when Dell is saying that she listens to that song daily, she's talking about Money by Cardi B.
Money. Oh,
What did you delete?
I didn't mean to. Hold on, can I restore it?
No, stop deleting people's shit.
I was trying to make him a moderator and I hit delete by accident. Where you going?
I'll be back.
I miss you. Oh, you're not home yet? Oh, meaning they could call someone else. Okay, my bad. Raul, you ready? My mistake. Tomorrow night I'll be streaming Fallout 76. Maybe Joe will be there, maybe not. Or I might be doing Spider-Man. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a poll during the day. One of those two, though. I'm playing either 76 or Spider-Man. I'm probably playing 76. Been running around with my buddies from New York off stream. Raul!
How you doing, Tom?
Good, how are you, buddy?
Very good. I really envy your mustache.
Thank you. Kimber insisted that I brought it back. And now that I figured out work school with it, then I'm cool with it. So how's it going?
Very good. I got home early and I'm like, I forgot the OSP was today. I was like, oh, I can make it. And so that's why. I have been pretty good.
Hey, second caller. That's a pretty good record for you, Raul.
Yes, I'm always the last one. Ah.
All right, well, question number one was, what was your favorite or the best film of 2018? One or
Only
two.
one?
You can pick two.
Okay. Technically, because I was flipping them off every time, like flip. I was, first was Blind Spotting. For a lot of months, Blind Spotting was my favorite movie of the year. But after seeing Spider-Verse 4 times, Spider-Verse became the number one.
Yeah, it was good. It was really good.
Spider-Verse was fucking amazing. I love it. Like, there's so many things I love about that movie. I love the humor. I love the action. When I went to see it with my parents, it took me 3 days to convince my mom to see it. She didn't want to see it. We're in vacation and she was like, but it's an animated movie. And I'm like, Mom, it's a good movie. You don't have to get it's an animated movie. And after she saw, I was like, okay, I get it. Like, she really liked the movie also, and my father also. And my father was like, this movie felt like a movie from the 80s and 70s. Like, they didn't care to show violence and action. Not like right now, like a lot of kids' movies are like for kindergarten big children. And that's a thing that bothers me a lot. Like, for example, I have been to the movies a lot, and to seeing the stupid trailer of The Secret Life of Pets 2, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna see that piece of crap again. That movie is made for kindergartners. Like, also like Minions, and what was the movie last year? The Grinch. The Grinch was one of the worst movies I saw last year.
Yeah, it did not look good at all. A lot of those, especially the digital animation movies, look just like not worth your time. And like, luckily we have some like good, like Coco and Moana, like those are obviously. But I mean, I know it's not popular opinion, but like that's how I kind of felt with Frozen too, with like Olaf and stuff. Like, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I get you. There's a lot of people that have very different opinions of Frozen, like the thing that I love from Frozen is all of the story of Elsa and her powers, and also all of the gay meanings, because totally Elsa is gay. Elsa is totally gay, and I know that Disney is never gonna acknowledge it, but I hope that the sequel does. But and with Spider Verse, like the last time I saw it as I still told to Nolan the first time I saw it, that for me Spider Verse feels like a sequel to the Tobey Maguire trilogy.
It does, right? Because it like showed all the things. Him doing the train, him dancing.
Everything. And like when Kingpin, sorry, spoiler for the first 10 minutes, when he kills Peter Parker, and I'm like, it hurt me. I imagine Toby dying.
It's a pretty big spoiler.
It's in the first 10 minutes.
If you were like, well, Uncle Ben died, I would have been like, yeah.
There's like other Peter Parkers. But yeah, and so it hurt me a lot. Also, Spider-Verse has been out for a month already. Even though, go and see it. There's a lot of surprises that I haven't said. That's the only one that I'm gonna say.
One surprise that I'm not gonna say out loud, but one of the villain reveals was really cool, and I did not see that coming at all. I thought that character was really strong throughout the movie. All right, well, we just talked about it's Spider-Verse. This is his favorite movie, so it's TV.
I don't have questions. If you're gonna walk away, you have to leave me with a thing of questions.
And also, Blind Spotting. The thing that I love from Blind Spotting, I love the humor. I love the rap scene at the end. I love the drama of it. Like, there's a lot of things that I love from it. Especially, there's a scene when the white friend gets like a lot of ironers for the hair and is selling them to from the woman from My Wife and Kids. I was like, but this is our top notch. I was like, these look used and old. And I'm like, I can prove it. There's a top line. I was like, how can we prove it? I was like, we have someone. And then you're seeing the other guy with his hair all iron. And that movie's pretty funny. Also, the way that he pitches the ironers, it felt like a Wolf of Wall Street kind of scene. And that's the thing that I like the most about that movie. And it balances the humor and the drama pretty well.
Yeah,
so
for
those
sure.
movies are both. I think for me that it's a tie, but Spider-Verse won because Spider-Verse was Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I agree. I see Tom in the chat saying he's not sure about the animation. It felt like he was watching a movie without his glasses at times. But what I liked about the animation is that's the only comic book movie I've ever seen that looked like damn comic book pages. Sometimes comics are printed a little off kilter and they're not perfectly in the lines and stuff like that. And the animation just really reminded me of what it looks like if you animated an actual comic book. So I liked the animation a lot. So are we on the second question?
Yeah.
I can see your point about the animation because even my sister noticed it when we went to see it again recently. But it depends on the screen that is projected. Because the first time we saw it was here in Universal Studios, and they have like pretty old kind of like screens, and so you can see the comic book scenes pretty glossy. But when we saw it in a newer theater, it was more clearer. I think it of the theater and the projector.
Fair. All right. What series did you think had the best season of 2018?
Oh, that's a hard one. American Horror Story Apocalypse was a surprise. Especially because I haven't seen it for like 3 years. For me, it was a surprise, and also it felt like American Horror Story from the one that I fell in love with, Asylum and Coven. So, and especially I like how it was also funny, like Coven also. But American Horror Story is like what right there. I would have given it the edge to Sabrina, but you know that I have problems with the finale because it was too predictable. I wanted Sabrina to go like more like ballsier, like throwing everything on the wall. I want it to be like more R-rated than the finale. But still, I like Sabrina a lot.
Yeah, see, I have my problems with American Horror Story. I don't know if you watched our recap at all, but I think that show kind of fizzled out towards the end. I will say that if we're talking about a single episode of a show for 2018, that Return to Murder House episode of American Horror Story this season was like the best episode of TV, like of the entire year. That really had me pumped, and it was super great, and I loved every moment of that one. And yes, I was excited to see the Coven Witches again. Do I think that they need to bring them back again next season? No, I don't, and they are, which is a little disappointing. But
thing that you're saying, because the finale of Apocalypse, it felt rushed.
Yes, for sure.
Especially with no spoilers attached. I was annoyed and angry that Angela Bassett showed up for 1 minute.
Yeah.
The finale. I was like, what the hell? Ryan Murphy has her in that 9/11 show. You couldn't borrow her for like 20 more minutes at least?
Yeah. But that season did have its moments, and I thought that Michael Langdon was a great character and stuff. It felt a little wasted at certain points, unfortunately.
If they had gone in chronological order, it would have been so much better.
Well, what celebrity won 2018 in your opinion? Who had the best year?
Ooh. That's a good one. Oh, that's a really hard one. But I will give it to Tom Cruise.
All right. Why Tom Cruise?
Because he survived Mission Impossible 6 without dying. And also the thing that he did last month about calibrating the TVs, that was pretty educational.
Well, that's quite an unexpected pick from you.
That's the only star that I can pop in my head because, like, in my head I was thinking maybe Lady Gaga, but I didn't love A Star Is Born as much. I cannot choose that. Even though I didn't love Mission Impossible 6 that much, but when I was seeing the movie, I was like, oh my God. Every single action scene was like, he's gonna die. And when the scene happened, when he broke his foot in real life, I was like, ay!
Yeah, I didn't see it, but I believe you.
Yeah, and so...
Jordan, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, other actor... I was going to say Chris Pratt, but then he broke my heart when he divorced Anna Faris, so he's a douchebag now.
Yeah, I don't know enough about
He's got that dad bod back though.
What's actually going on in that relationship to have an opinion.
I could give it to Post Malone.
There you go.
Post Malone was, and I love Better Now. Rockstar, Psycho, Sunflower in Spider-Verse. There's a lot of songs that I learned from Post Malone. I give it to Post Malone.
Yeah, right. Not only that, but we are fans of his work because he's friends with the people who run H3H3. He had some really great stuff with them. He did a Ghost Adventures episode, which was really funny and exciting to watch.
I was going to tell you I'll see if I can find the link for it, but he just hangs out with the Ghost Adventures crew and goes and hunts ghosts. That's who my pick was before. Ethan and Gila from H3H3. They've had an awesome year. They kicked off their... if you're not familiar with them, just look up H3H3. They do like comedy bits, but they also have been really working hard on a podcast. They've also been working really hard on making a baby.
Yeah, they were trying to get pregnant for like 2 years, I think, something like that.
And Hila's pregnant, and she also is a CEO. She just started her own fashion company.
Teddy
like
Fresh is doing really well.
Yeah, so it's been awesome for them, and we love seeing them.
They also raised like $100,000?
No,
$200,000 for charity in their last charity show that they did. But
more than that because they kept going.
Yeah, they're doing really great work. And they've had a lot of people on their show that a lot of you guys might like. They're friends with like Justin Roiland.
The guy who does
Gravity Falls.
He's on there a lot. He was on there for their charity thing. He helped. He sold some drawings and stuff.
Yeah, because I have seen Alex Hurst tweets that sometimes he gives out the expensive edition of the journals.
Yes.
It wasn't like a limited quantity. And I'm like, I want one.
You could have bid $1 on it during this charity, and you would have had a chance to.
It was a raffle, yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do all their charity stuff is raffles.
Yeah, because those journals, the special edition now on eBay, they're like $2,000. They're pretty limited.
Yeah, that was one of the items that ended up making the most money for them too. All right, one more question from you. What 2019 film are you looking forward to the most?
I know. I'm gonna say it again. I know you do. You guys are not so hype. The only movie that matters is Glass. For me, like, I have been so hyped for that movie for 2 years. I know. I'm bringing the vibe down. Of course, I'm excited for.
I love that.
I'm excited for Endgame, for Episode 9, for even I'm excited for Shazam. I'm excited for a damn DC movie, but for Glass, to see M. Night Shyamalan coming back, and I even gonna say it, like they even put out that it's gonna be the critic screen. I'm gonna see it tomorrow. I'm so freaking excited.
Yeah, Tom is probably jealous because I'm definitely not going to want to go to the theater to see
Yeah,
Glass.
she's like, why don't you take Steve to go with you? And I'm like, I will take Steve to go with me, even if he doesn't want to go. I have a better chance of making him go. So yeah, no, I'm excited. And I just saw an article today, and I shared it on our Facebook page, that they're using footage from Unbreakable and Glass to show
unused footage.
Unused footage, yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so that's cool. So we get to see an actual flashback of like young Bruce and stuff like that. I made a joke about like, what, they don't got that de-aging Disney money, but
no, especially because it's pretty high budget for Blumhouse. I heard that the budget was 20 million, and Blumhouse their maximum spending is like 5 million for a movie.
Sorry, what was that?
He said the budget.
Blumhouse.
Oh, is it? That's cool.
Invested 20 million.
Wow.
And Blumhouse, their maximum budget for movies is like 5 million.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm excited. Plus, it has and she's been doing great lately. What's
Anna Taylor-Joy?
Cordelia. What's her name?
Oh, Sarah Paulson.
Sarah Paulson. She's gonna be awesome in that too, and her career's been going nuts.
Yeah, she's great.
With my mom, I'm making my bet. Sarah Paulson has a power.
Yeah, she's the supreme.
Yeah. Yeah, she's gonna show up with all of the witches at the end, and they're gonna kill the beast. That's the end of the story. The Ryan Murphy on the universe.
I mean, in some multiverse, it's happening. I'm sure.
No, you know what ending I want? At the end of post-credit scene, you see Mr. Glass all beaten in the asylum, and then you hear and then you see Zachary Quinto as Siler. I need your power, Mr. Glass. And you see the blood of Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah,
Nice.
No.
I will go insane.
My favorite though is when he kills someone and he turns around and he goes, "Ooh, cake." Do you remember that episode? That's great. All right, well, we got to wrap up, Raul. Where can people find you if they want to talk?
You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Stardust on Raul Beto RGC. I need more followers, and I need to keep doing more reviews. I'm catching up in a lot of Netflix movies. Those are the reviews I'm gonna post right now. I watched To All the Boys That I Love, and Bird Box, and Roma, and I still need to watch more movies. And so, yeah, and that's the thing. And you can find me here on OSP sometimes when I catch up with work.
Sorry, your mic's cutting in and out, but we got most of that.
Okay.
All right, Raul. We'll see you soon.
Love you guys.
And
Love
I
you
can't
too,
wait to
buddy.
talk to you about that 300th episode of Supernatural.
Yes!
You guys should do a special.
We should. Maybe I will hit you up for that. All right, I'll hit you up.
Okay, bye guys. Bye.
I think that'd be great. I'm
Yep.
very serious. I will do a 300th episode recap with Raul. That sounds fantastic.
And just like Billy, Raul is a patron producer, so thank you so much for all the support, both of you. And speaking of patron producers, Davises, are you ready?
I wanted to bring up something that I'm sure that you'll be mad that you missed, but another season of a show that you really enjoyed was Castle Rock.
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it a lot. It was good. Still not ready.
Not ready.
Who do we
Okay,
got?
then we got, I think up next is Eric Ossemacher.
That sounds right. I know Dell was in here earlier. Dell, if you're still around and you want to call in tonight, let us know in the chat. I know Tom Z said he had to get out of here. Thank you for hanging out, Tom. Sorry we didn't get to talk to you.
I can invite my boss.
I saw that.
You see that, like, his name stays? Weird. Not even the same account. Okay, I'm going to have to leave a link. Eric, are you still there, buddy? Buddy, are you still there?
He was writing a couple minutes ago. I would think he's still
I know
Yeah,
he has some news for us.
Dell's here too.
Okay, great. So that link's for you, Eric. Hopefully that works. And then after Eric, we have...
Probably Dell.
It is Dell, yeah. Okay.
And then hopefully the Davises will be ready by then.
I think Jack's outside. This is a call-in show if you're interested in talking just movies from 2018.
And TV.
And TV. Curious to hear your opinion. Not sure if you're still there. I don't know if the robot's working.
I don't think so.
I tried it earlier, but it didn't do anything. Friend dog.
Nope. I feel like Eric's like donning the hat now.
Like it's like the close up, like him, like I don't know. His watch.
Theme music is playing.
No worries.
Does he have Pokemon news? That's usually
No.
the
He
news.
has content news. but-
Oh. Okay. Eric, let us know if that link is not working for you, buddy.
Well, this is a story all about how my life got flipped turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there. Works every time.
Trying to turn so you can see my tag with the kitties on it.
Cat's
Right
present.
there. Yeah.
Hi, Eric.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
That's okay.
Okay. All right. No, I'm just coming off of an episode, off of a fresh new episode of Steven Universe, and it was literally not what I expected at all. So I'm just,
Oh, no.
it was a weird episode.
Oh no, are you feeling emotions?
No, I mean, it was literally probably one of the weirdest episodes.
He's like, what the fuck was that?
It's like pretty much everybody thought it's like we've essentially known about this episode for months, and we thought it was going one way, and they're just like, nah, it's going the other way. It's going like the exact opposite direction. All right, cool.
Nice.
Well, before we get started, did you have any Pokemon news?
Pokemon news is that coming up this weekend, it is the Totodile Community Day, which is the community day that I've been the most hyped for since the concept, because Totodile and Feraligatr are my top starter of all time. They rank number one for me over great. There's like other starters come close, but it's like Totodile just always. That's like, I mean, Decidueye and Rowlet are like up there, but no, still have not passed Totodile. Mostly because the way he was portrayed in the anime, it was just great.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a Bulbasaur girl. I feel like everyone's probably heard me talk about Bulbasaur at this point, but Totodile's cute. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And
I like the owl one. I haven't played
Yeah, the Rowlet.
Rowlet, but I just like it's the only one that gets a ghost typing, and I like ghosts. So,
Yeah.
did you have any news that you-
well, I was gonna let him wrap up with that.
Okay.
Yeah. I got other stuff to talk
You do
about.
podcast.
But that'll be at the end.
You know how to.
Yeah.
We have
Fine, just do it then.
All right. I got a question for you.
Okay.
First question is, what is the best film of 2018?
I mean, it was brought up before, but I'm gonna both give it to Endgame. Not Endgame. Sorry, that's a future answer. I'm gonna give it to Infinity War, and I'm also gonna give it to Black Panther.
Yeah.
Because both those movies came out in the same year. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
It's essentially Marvel. Marvel was just killing it.
And Ant-Man on the Wasp.
Ant-Man and the Wasp. It was a good sequel to Ant-Man. So it's obviously not the same type of movie as the other movies, but it's not trying to be, and that's the point. But they honestly, both movies are on a scale that Marvel movies had not been up to at that point. Black Panther finally experimenting with a non-quippy main character. And Infinity War just actually paying. It's like I call Infinity War like 2 hours of payoff.
Yeah, for real. Really good.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, when I say I was nervous about Infinity War because I thought that the early stuff that they released of Thanos looked like California Raisin, like, I mean it. I was nervous. But it really came out so good. And we watched
it. Still looked like a California Raisin.
It's not as bad, though. It looked really weird when they first started showing us stuff. Yeah. But we watched it the other day, and it looks even better on the TV. So, like, on the small screen, it's just really impressive what they did, for sure.
Joe's got the best quote about Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's got Paul Rudd pretending to be Michelle Pfeiffer pretending to be Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah. I love some Rudd, so I won't argue with you there. It's a good one.
Question number 2. What series had the best season of 2018?
Well, as I have done multiple times on this show, I'm going to advocate for Rooster Teeth shows because they are great and they deserve the credit that they are due. And I am going to give this one to Camp, which, if you haven't heard me talk about this show like a billion times, it's effectively Camp Lazlo meets Rick and Morty. It's so good. You can watch all 3 seasons of it on their website. The first 2 seasons are on YouTube right now. Right now Rooster Teeth's doing a thing where they're not uploading their current episodes to YouTube, but you could still watch them on the site for free. You don't have to pay for anything. You just have to pay to watch it like a week early. But that season finished airing a while ago. They had a Halloween episode that they pretty much have done every year since season 1, and this year they managed to eke out a Hanukkah episode, despite the fact that it takes place at a summer camp. They found a way to get a Hanukkah episode in. It was very interesting. I just the way that this season had played out, because the main dynamic is how the main character Max just absolutely hates everything, but most of all hates the fact that he's stuck at summer camp.
Yeah.
So just the way that the arc, pretty much each season finale sort of has this sort of arc to it that really focuses in on that. Like the first season, it ends with him trying to eventually helping the main camp counselor David. He's the one that's always he goes through this whole thing where he's just trying and it just keeps failing, and it just ends with the one time that he curses, because he's like this like super really nice guy. He's just like, I keep trying because someone fucking has to. And it's just like it just so describes his character. And then moving on to season 2, where we find out that Max's parents literally just didn't care. They just threw him in summer camp, didn't give him any activities that he was supposed to do. And then it's just like when David finally realizes that, he's just like, yeah, sometimes things just suck. And then finally onto this season where the camp gets shut down, and because Max has no thing, it gets taken over by this like corporate camp. And because Max had no thing, he was still stuck at the main camp with David. And it's like after all this, it's like we have to get the camp back, because it's like it sucks without everybody else here. And so they go through this whole thing of going through each and every camp that every other character has been sent to, and then just absolutely destroys it. And it was just such a great way of destroying like a magic camp. Like they destroy a theater camp. They just go through all this havoc and just knock everything down, and it's great.
So Rooster Teeth has a convention that they do around here.
Yeah, that's because they are an Austin-based company, and they've got their main convention in Austin. Then they've also got one in Sydney, and they've recently started one in London as well.
Nice, that's great for them.
Question 3 was, who do you think won 2018?
Like I hate to pretty much triple down on I almost went with Kevin Feige just because of how much Marvel's killing it. But going along the same lines that you went with going to Ethan Klein, I'm actually going to go this with Phil DeFranco, because Phil he's pretty much been consistently the one news source that covers not only just political news, but like international news, YouTube news, just the whole gambit. And I feel like he covers it in such a way that, it does have his take on it, but it feels like the most real, if that makes any sense. I mean, and it shows because he's been doing this for a very long time, but I feel like in 2018 is where he really, really starts to, have his full independence in this, because, now that he's no longer tied to any other company. I believe that happened in, I think, late 2017, but now he's finally expanding to a point where he wants to be, and it's really showing now that he's got his daily shows, and now I think he's doing like 8 videos a week.
Wow, that's a lot.
It's insane.
So you mean you're not going to pick Logan Paul?
No, God, no.
Along those same lines, I have to give a shout out to Shane Dawson, because what he's been doing with his channel more recently with these like documentaries about YouTubers and personalities is a huge step up for his channel. And although like I used to watch his channel a lot because I like conspiracy videos, and he did a lot of conspiracy videos, and they're great, and I miss seeing them because he's not really doing that anymore. I do think that he's evolved a lot, and he's doing something really different than what people are doing. And I enjoyed his Jeffree Star series a lot. It gave me a different take on a person who I had kind of never even really put that much thought into, because Jeffree Star is very controversial, but he really like humanized this person, and it was just really interesting. And I can't think of a YouTuber who's doing anything really like what Shane has been doing, and the stuff he did with Jake Paul too. Even though watching it, I'm pretty sure he meant to do one on Logan Paul, but called him the wrong person. He asked the wrong person and got sucked into doing a Jake Paul one. they're just really unique. No one else is doing it, and it's like he invented like his own YouTube subgenre, and so it's been a good year for him as well.
Yeah, I agree. Shane has also been killing it.
Another question?
Question number 4: what movie of 2019 are you looking forward to the most, or TV series? We can say TV series.
I mean, definitely Endgame. But also along those lines, the CW Arrowverse crossover next year is Crisis on Infinite Earths, so that's also going to be real great. And I was like, especially after how good Elseworlds was, I cannot wait to see how they handle that.
Eric, I watched Elseworlds.
Oh,
because I knew this conversation would happen. And this is what I have to say to you. They're thinking about ordering a Ruby Rose Batwoman pilot.
Oh, they did. They already did.
I really want to see it, and I really hope it fails so we can talk about it on the show. But that cowl with like the wig stapled onto the top was horrible.
The cowl's like weirdly like
it looked like a Batman cowl that they just stapled on a wig onto.
I mean, that's pretty much comic book accurate, though.
No, hers is more like we
she's a
have a friend named Kaylee who's a cosplayer, and she looks perfect.
Yeah, Batwoman's artwork is gorgeous and the character design is beautiful. There's no excuse for that nonsense. And I'm not one of the people who hated that casting. I was okay with that casting, to be completely honest.
She was fine in the role.
But fucking cowl.
Look, this has not been a great year for the costuming department in the Arrowverse. Let's not get into how torn people are on this season's Flash suit.
I haven't even watched this season.
A lot of people do not like it. they think that the lack of the chin strap makes it look way too goofy.
Oh no. I did like seeing Steve Amell in the Flash suit though during Elseworlds. That was cool. And that his dad came back to play a future version of him from a different world, which was cool. Yeah.
Well, that was he literally came back as the 90s the Flash from the 90s series. They even used in that opening, they even used the transition from the 90s series.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. And also there was a whole bunch of Smallville characters, like there was the Smallville Green Arrow in that scene as well. Tom like in that opening scene, like throughout all the carnage in that opening scene.
Oh, really?
One of the fallen heroes is the Smallville Green Arrow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, okay. How did you feel? I know we're just talking about Elseworlds now.
Yeah.
When they're like Smallville, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody say.
It's like, yeah, all right. So I was watching it. I'm like, yeah, they're doing the Smallville thing. And I turned to my mom. She just didn't care because my mom also watches The Flash and Supergirl. But she doesn't care about Arrow. So literally, the only episodes of Arrow she also watches Legends of Tomorrow, but Legends wasn't in this crossover. But she literally doesn't care about Arrow at all, and she didn't care about Smallville at all. So it's like that was like something completely lost on her.
I did like the bit where. Okay, so I'm watching this and I'm like, all right, so if this is supposed to be Smallville, like you're using the music, implying that this is the same farm, maybe I'd buy Tom Welling growing up into this whatever dude, I don't know his name, but there's no way that Erica Durance grew into this Lois Lane.
Well, here's the thing, Erica Durance grew up and became Kara's mom because they cast her as Kara's mom.
Oh my god. See, that's it. Like it's cool because you get like the same actors doing different roles throughout like the properties, but when you try to do a like crossover event, like it's a shame that they couldn't get Tom Welling.
I'm betting you Tom Welling's going to be there for Crisis.
Oh yeah,
mark my words now. Tom Welling, Michael Rosenbaum, both going to be there for Crisis.
That'd be dope. Ashley and Joe will be next.
Yeah, Ashley and Joe will be
Well,
next. I saw that.
That was the final question. And I know there's a TV series that you're looking forward to, and you're going to be doing a little something with.
Right. So, Young Justice Outsiders has premiered. It just premiered on Friday, 9 a.m. Which I was expecting to be at midnight, like it was for Titans, but no, it's 9 a.m. So I had to stay up a little bit extra to watch that after working. But I also didn't expect it to be 3 episodes each week. So I was initially going to be doing these bi-weekly, but doing those bi-weekly would mean we'd cover 6 episodes an episode, and that'd be way too long. So what my plan is on Tuesdays is when I'm going to be doing Just Whelmed, So Crash, because it gives like a nice half of a week for everybody to watch the episodes. And if you don't have a DC Universe, I will be planning on rabbiting for anybody that wants to watch it, probably either sometime after this or earlier on tomorrow. I'm shooting to go live with Just Whelmed at I'm still playing around with it. I'm gonna say 8 Eastern is when I want to go live. It's like a nice neutral time for most people. And yeah, do that. Cover the 3 episodes, and if they continue the trend of what I've been seeing, also cover the 2 issues of the comic that gets released that takes place between seasons 2 and 3. Because that also is kind of relevant-ish to what happened, like tangentially. I mean, I'll talk about it probably. At least in this first episode, I'm going to talk about it because it has some interesting stuff in it. So
nice.
Yeah. So tomorrow, Just Whelmed, So Crash, making its season premiere. First 3 episodes, which is actually nice because it's like at least these first 3 episodes were like a 3-episode mini arc, and I actually hope that they keep that up. So it's essentially like we're getting an hour-long episode of Young Justice every week.
All right. Well, and that can be seen over at Bunk Bunker.
Well, Eric, Bunk Bunker's just my Twitter. My YouTube is Eric Ossenmacher because I changed it from my old YouTube just to my name because I wasn't making anything, and then I almost immediately started making things again. So that's just how it happens.
Okay.
I'm sure at some point I'll have an actual channel.
How's that Zombieland?
Once I start getting motivated, I'll just knock it out all at once. The issue is starting is the thing.
I hear you. No, it's fine. I know you got a lot going on with Young Justice. That's always your jam.
With Young Justice, visiting my sister and her newborn. I literally on Facebook. I literally just posted a video of us going because I literally just closed on a house today.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah. Walk through their new house. That was a lot of fun. The baby was nice and quiet, and then I stopped recording, and then it wasn't.
How it goes.
That's how it goes. Anyway.
All right, man. I'll catch you later.
Yeah. Yeah. See you guys later. And now Joe and Ashley.
All right, let me call Joe, and then after that will be Jaleisha. And then I think that might be it, unless there's any other callers. Early night, not bad, not bad. Bum, 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 bum.
Hello. Tom.
Hey, how's it going?
Don't be fooling.
can hear that like faint background static of your apartment. So we know we can hear things.
I tried. How's it going?
It's a long day.
I hear that.
How y'all doing?
We're doing good. Chugging along here.
Fair enough.
And for anyone who wants to know more about our current guests' opinions on their top 10 films of the year and so on, Joe and Ashley have a 2018 video over on their channel as well on Geek to My Nerd.
We do. I'm not as Geek to My Nerd in the chat currently, but I'm sure we can find a way to slap a link up there, or I'll change over or something. But yeah. So I may choose a different.
That's just like your opinion, man.
It's fair. That's fair. Watch that movie today, actually.
Of course.
Because it's the day that ends in Y. So yeah. Looking forward to more OSPs of the year.
Oh yeah, us too. But let's get to these questions.
Excellent.
Question number 1. What do you folks feel was the best movie of 2018?
Well, we're going with
with what's on. If we're going with what's on our list, I'm going with Sorry to Bother You. Like, there's so many good films. It's the thing we realized going over our list of movies we saw this year, that it's really hard to choose like a best film this year because there's so many good films that came out this year. But I went with Sorry to Bother You because it's like a hour and a half, 2 hour long. Like it's the kind of caliber of like older sci-fi that would be akin to like The Twilight Zone or Black Mirror.
Yeah, me and Kimber really want to see it. We just haven't gotten a chance to yet, but that's definitely one that's high on our list that we definitely want to.
If you haven't seen it, I believe it's on Hulu to watch, so definitely check that out. I don't think there's anything super like spoilery in the trailers or anything, but I think it's a good one to kind of just go in and experience it. It's one that was brought up at my work not too long ago. It's like, hey, has anyone seen this movie? And we were just having like a really great discussion about a lot of the themes of the movie and just some of the kind of more bizarre elements. I can't wait to see more from the director, Boots Riley, who I think comes from more of a music background. Really great. And then Lakeith Stanfield, he plays the main character. He was in Get Out as the character that gets abducted at the beginning of the movie.
Andre.
Really excellent film overall, and nice to see something that's not, an existing IP, just a very original idea.
I'm actually really upset that this movie doesn't get more love than it got. Like, it got a lot when it was out. Like, it was all, it was revolutionary, et cetera, but, like, people don't really talk about it as much anymore. And I think it's one that warrants more discussion and more people, like, kind of, like, propping it and touting its positive elements and all sorts of stuff.
When we see it, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, another undersung movie from last year, the R-rated Venom upgrade. Again, it has like the discount Tom Hardy, same idea, but just very, like Joe said, Twilight Zone kind of plot where, especially like when you get to the end of everything, it's like, oh, this is where we're going. Okay. And if you're used to watching a lot of independent film, like you're on board, but if you're kind of more of like a mainstream only popcorn flick person, you might be a little jarred by the ending just because
I think there were people in our theater that are like, that's it? Yeah, that's the ending? What? And we're like,
yeah, we were like blown away and they were confused. So it's a very good one. And then I don't think it really pulls a lot of punches literally. Whereas, in Venom, it's PG-13. So when he's doing something that Venom would do, it's more like paint your own picture because we have to show the violence off camera.
We're going to give you the sound effects though.
But with this, like they can do a lot more because it is R-rated. And it's kind of like another great like looking at the future, like the not too distant future, like what's life gonna be like, and there's always got to be like that one person who is a Luddite, like oh man, I hate technology, like this is dumb, and then to see like how that guy has to deal with something that's way out of the norm even for that time period.
Yep.
Awesome.
Is that your choice, by the way?
Well, I'm going to go with Sorry to Bother You, but I just wanted to
Okay.
sing the praises of Upgrade because I
Just
think
making
that's
sure.
just a really good one as well.
Just making sure.
I like the more independent ones.
Question number 2 is what series of what season of a series this year do you think was the best?
This was very tough because there's a lot of great television, like we were talking about in the chat earlier. If you could give an award to most improved series, it would have been Iron Fist because like season 1 was like here, if you're having trouble with insomnia, watch Iron Fist and you'll be asleep fast. But season 2 is really engaging.
If you're freezing to death, put on Iron Fist season 1. It's already a tire fire.
But I would have to say probably like the best season that I don't think has been mentioned yet is Mrs. Maisel season 2 is pretty phenomenal.
I got to hear Tony Shalhoub drop an F-bomb twice.
And Kimber, I know you said that you're still watching it, so no spoilers, but there's just like a lot of great through lines with the characters, and you start to really care about different characters who may have made you really mad in the first season, and just all the beautiful set pieces and costumes, and to see Midge's rise to like becoming more of like a legitimate comedian versus like, oh, like I did this and I'm hilarious off the cuff, but like honing her craft and trying to make a name for herself in her relationship with Susie, but also trying to balance that with her home life. It was really cool to see.
Yeah, so I'm just going to be starting the 3rd episode when I get back in, so I'm still kind of early, but I have out of context spoilery complaint, right?
Oh.
So when they left France, the parents, why the fuck didn't they bring that dog?
I don't know. I don't.
Mad at it.
He was part of their French like bohemian life. Like he wasn't gonna fit in their Upper West Side life.
Why?
I don't know. There's no explanation for that.
Oh yeah, that's the only thing. But it has been really great so far, and in general, all the France stuff was really good. I liked her stand-up set in France too.
With the translator and everything.
Yes, really good.
Yeah, for me, like it was funny, but like there's also a lot of moments like that where it borders on like a little fanficky where it's like this is a little too convenient,
but it's a TV
but it's
show.
Really charming.
Yeah.
So like I let it slide, but there are definitely, or anytime like Lenny Bruce is there, it's like this is getting real fanficky.
But again, the show itself is just so wildly charming. It's one of those like there are some minor flaws to the show, but you can deal with it because the rest of the show is just so so fun and beautiful.
For the most part, the writing is really strong. The acting is really strong. It just won like some more Golden Globes, so that was really cool, especially for the lead actress. Like she's like the first actress in a long time to win back-to-back Golden Globes for the same role. So
yeah, no, she's marvelous. She's great. I'm a big fan of the show for sure. And she's actually going to be hosting the first SNL of the year, so nice. Good for her. Excited to see what they do because she's really great. So I think that she can have her like some good moments on SNL if they use her properly.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Well, now I'm looking forward to that too.
Yep.
Right.
And as a note, that was going to be my choice as well.
Oh, okay. So both of you guys, awesome.
I didn't even plan that.
We did not because I was like, man, what is now? I know there's one that I think no one has said because I've only been able to listen to about half the show while I was running errands and such. But I know one of the questions I don't think we're going to share answers for.
And then, of course, a lot of other great seasons that you were mentioned, like, you know, talked about Sabrina. Like, that was a really strong start. And like
it is often rare for a show to have such a strong first season.
I was very apprehensive about that one as well because I had about the same reaction to Riverdale as you did, Kimber, where it's like, what are we doing? Like, this is not written for me. I could tell why this is popular with certain certain groups of people, but just I couldn't get into it. But there's just something about the setting and like I don't know, just the type of characters in Sabrina that it worked. So I really cannot wait for the next season.
Yeah, same. Also, a shout out to the second season of the MST3K revival. We enjoyed that a lot as well, and it was funny. Like they did Mac and Me. That's great.
Oh, nice.
You know.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah, I think it's their first episode. It was really fun. All right, so
Falling in
yeah, Rud roll. What celebrity won 2018?
So for me, this celebrity is weirdly Dolph Lundgren. He had a really good year this year. He's gotten so much critical praise for reprising a role that he hasn't done in 30 years. To the point
and then he
where
only said like 8 words
previously, but this time around, and it's just the amount of like critical love he's gotten. And then he was also one of the decent, he was in Aquaman. He was really good in that as well. But in general, I'm going to go with Dolph Lundgren. I don't care if it's wildly inaccurate. That's
Hey man, he's the master of your universe.
Yes, he is, and he'll punish anyone that says otherwise.
Oh god.
Well, Raul said Tom Cruise, so rules are out the window.
I guess.
You're letting Scientologists in here?
That's not my answer. My answer is actually an author who I really have enjoyed a lot of his work named Jason Reynolds, who wrote Miles Morales' Spider-Man adaptation that was really good. That came out in 2017, but he released 3 books in 2018. 2 of them are middle grade, so for like junior high age students that are really good, and then also a book of poetry, and he's won like 5 different literary awards this past year, and he had like 3 of his books were on the New York Times bestseller list for their various categories, so he's having a great year. He's a great author. One of my coworkers actually got to meet him at a conference, so I was like super jealous that I didn't get to go. So Jason Reynolds, he's really cool.
Yeah, awesome. That's a great one. Yeah, Stephen King, too, speaking of writers, had a great year. Like, this dude is, like, all over pop culture. Everything was Stephen King.
And out of 2017, because It was 2017.
Yeah, and I mean, it's just going to continue because the next It movie is coming out, I think.
And then it'll stop for a good, like, 10 years, and then another 10 years, yeah.
They'll redo the Running Man, but more like the book.
People forget that too. It's funny.
And last question tonight, what 2019 film are you looking forward to the most?
That's a really tough question.
Oh, I have. It's not tough for me. It's Us.
Okay.
I got 5
yes.
Jordan Peele.
Us looks so good.
A horror movie where there's like doppelgangers of the family. Like he had such a knockout with Get Out that I am on board. It seems creepy. And I'm not normally a fan of the genre. Like I get, like y'all know I got scared at Lassie episodes. I'm pretty sure I mentioned that like every time we've talked about horror. But I am all on this. I cannot wait. I will be there opening weekend. I don't care what we have to do. I am excited for us to see what is next for Jordan Peele. That I predict it will be my favorite movie of the year based off of previous things.
For sure.
I'm not, and while I'm super excited for that, I'm actually really excited for the new Men in Black movie.
Yeah.
Mostly because I love Chris Hemsworth and Tessa Thompson's chemistry. Like they actually, I mean, they've only really been in one movie together, but they had really good and it's not like romantic chemistry. It's just they work really well together. But and it's also got Liam Neeson and I can't remember the actress's name, and I feel terrible about that. Emma, I think
Thompson.
Yeah, I think so. Emma Thompson, and they're great. And I enjoyed the 2 Men in Black movies I've seen. I haven't seen 3, but I love that kooky, weird alien sci-fi. Dang it,
dude! Pause. You need to watch Men in Black 3. Because it's so good.
There isn't a bad Men in Black movie.
It's so good.
Two.
The weakest one is 2. 3 is good.
So we thought about reviewing them for the channel maybe this year, since the new one's coming out, and that's kind of a very nerdy franchise.
And we can review the cartoon.
I remember the cartoon. I don't know, is that anywhere available to watch?
We could probably.
I'll find it for you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll look at the calendar and see what we can plan. But that would be a fun one to do.
I'm super excited for John Wick.
Yeah, all right.
3. Oh, it's gonna be so good.
I still haven't seen 2.
John Wick 2 is pretty good. I
I
still
still haven't
think
seen the first one.
the first one is like we watched it on a whim one day. I don't know why we didn't go see that in the theater, but it's like let's watch this, and we were just blown away. And then
Because it's Keanu Reeves movie.
and sad that we did not
Yeah.
see it in the theater. But I think it's a pretty good franchise.
Yep. There's a lot of movies I'm looking forward to for 2019. I'm also looking forward to the episode 9 because I love Star Wars. And I
Keep forgetting that's this year.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm kind of glad I forget it's this year. And because then I'll be surprised when it's out.
I also wanted to say about the new Men in Black movie that Tessa Thompson looks great in that suit, and that's just another excuse for me to bother Candace to cosplay another thing because I feel like Tessa Thompson looks a little like Candace, so it always makes me want to.
Same energy.
Yeah.
It's another reason for you to buy more suits.
No, I already wear a suit, so this is nothing new for me. But yeah, no, that's going to be really fun. And you got to watch the third one. It's so good.
I want to. I know Josh Brolin plays Young K.
I just remember that Pitbull song that was like the musical tie-in because when I used to take Zumba, that was a song that we had to dance to.
Oh, jeez.
And there was a lot of weird arm flailing.
Which, as a side note, as much as we loved Aquaman, there was that one, the Pitbull's cover of Africa.
Yeah.
Luckily, it was like incredibly short. So it wasn't enough to just be like, okay, well, that just destroyed this for me. It wasn't like it was the whole song like crammed in there. It was just like a few bars. So.
I mean, yeah, like I'm from an hour north of Miami, so I've heard my fair share of unwanted Pitbull songs, that's for sure.
Right.
But
pretty much it.
Those are all the questions for tonight. You guys both answered the last one, right? Yes, you did. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you? I know you're always working on stuff.
Well, you can find me on Twitter where I'm at the Spice Must Joe.
And I'm at that _ Mrs. Davis.
You can also find us together with at Geek to My Nerd with underscores between each word, where these are all of our Twitter handles. We have, of course, our YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Geek to My Nerd. I believe it's all one word or all together. You can also find me over on the Odd Shape channel website where I've written a Fallout thing back in July, and I'm going to be working on another one for Fallout 76. My kind of like, it's 2 months, what do I think about this game kind of thing, with some other thoughts about, oh wow, this is poignant, and the other kind of random things that Fallout has done for Fallout 76 that I think are like good, bad, and ugly. So
cool. Yeah, and there is a link to their stuff in the chat if you look over at what Friend Dog has for you. And did your sister like that dice bag is my other question.
She absolutely loved it.
Awesome. Very cool.
And all of our family loves the soaps and everything else. So
awesome. You guys are the best. But we will see you soon. Come visit again. We miss you already.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Trying to. I think Dell is going to be our last caller for tonight. I see that she's still in the chat.
I can't do anything.
Yeah, you can move Mavis. She's fine.
She was so comfy.
She's like, why?
All right.
Hey, Kat.
Who's that babe?
She's talking about herself again. She's not even on screen.
All right, talking about herself. Here's this link. This is for Dell. If you're still in there, come on in. Kat, you want to call in?
Kat does not want to call in.
Hey, it was worth a shot. Jeez. How was work, Kat?
Are you done being sick yet? So we gotta go hang out again. Get some drinks.
Oh. Oh, come on.
We can hear ya.
Sorry, I forgot to. I don't know why it turned my camera off. Hold on.
I didn't make fun of your coughing at all today, Kat. In fact, I was in the room behind you cutting those cards, and I heard you cough. And I could have poked my head out at any time. I thought about it, but I didn't, because I'm a good friend.
Did you make fun of my friend?
Yesterday. No, last week.
Why?
It was last week.
Why?
Because
I gave her cough drops.
she makes fun of my coughs.
For some reason, it's saying Hangouts weren't. It says Hangouts can't use the selected camera without a working camera. I'm like, I was just on like Google Hangouts the other day, so I don't know why it's not working.
I don't know.
I mean, we could still ask you the questions.
Are you able to hold on 1 second? Let me try something else. Hold on. No, Sage, sorry.
No, you don't. What? You have so made fun of my coughing. It was like one of the first things you did.
I'm gonna try to hop out and hop back in.
Okay.
All right.
A big hello to our friend Dub.
Hey, Dub.
How you doing?
We're just Dell's having technical difficulties trying to get her in.
Boots and hats and boots and hats.
I always said boots and cats.
Boots and cats and boots and yeah, that's nice. Well, you can go in between. Go boots and hats and boots and cats and boots and hats.
But the cats gives you that percussion.
Cats. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like the open and the closed on the hi hat. It's like the difference between the ch and the.
I don't know why this won't work.
I saw your camera thingy just go red.
Boots and cats.
Yeah, it keeps telling me my camera's not working. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that's weird. I've never seen that, like, on the other side, you know what I mean? Where it's red.
Yeah.
But we can, I mean, if you want to ask these, or...
Do you want to answer these questions?
You can ask us questions.
Sure, I can answer the questions.
All right. So what did you think was the best film of 2018?
Okay, it might not be the best film, but it was the one that resonated the most with me. Plus, I didn't get to see a lot of films this year. It's got, for me, it was Black Panther. That theater experience was amazing, and much like that scene in Wonder Woman where it's like all the Amazonian tribes like fighting like Amazonian women too. Like seeing all the like tribal and all the colors and just, I mean, having the setting be in Africa and not be like a slave movie was like really great, and it actually got me like really emotional because you don't get to see that a lot, except for when we talk about something later on. It was just really good to see a movie with that budget and with such a great cast of actors, like not really any like one unknown unless you want to count Winston Duke, even though he like stole the movie for a lot of people. I'm actually excited to see more of him as well. And it gave before he did Creed, he was pretty much like kind of like an indie director, Ryan Coogler, like a big budget movie with kind of a lot of stakes to it and just knock it out of the park. And I'm just so proud and so happy to see what they might do with Black Panther 2 and just to see Ryan Coogler's work further on in his career. Like,
I think you shouldn't sell yourself short with that. I do think it was one of the best movies of the year, and certainly one of the more important like social moments of the year. Like that was a huge deal, and people were so great too. Like showing up like in full blown badass costumes and stuff to go see the opening of the movie. Even like Candace did, and it was just like such a wonderful vibe. To how excited everybody was to go see this movie, and then it happened to be an excellent movie. Okoye is one of my favorite female characters they've ever delivered us in a movie, period. She's just like super badass, tough, but like with heart too. Like I loved her, and they made a lot of the really correct decisions, in my opinion, with what they did with that movie. And I can't wait to see what happens within that story next, because it knocked my socks off. I loved Black Panther.
I've seen it like 3 times already. So since, I mean, that's not counting the time I saw it in theaters.
I think it's a little unfortunate. Well, not unfortunate, but like the fact that it was that it came out in the beginning of last year. It kind of got buried under everything because we're talking about movies I just saw a few weeks ago because I just saw them a few weeks ago. Granted, if I saw Spider-Verse same time as I saw Black Panther, I probably would still feel the same way. It's just, the attention gets buried.
Yeah. Black Panther's soundtrack was out of control too. Like, I've played Black Panther at work like 10 times. Because, like, every time someone walks into the shop, they're like, oh, you guys are watching Black Panther? Hell yeah. Like, people get pumped. Just like the whole attitude that everybody had to that movie could have been negative from a lot of crappy people, but instead it had this huge wave of positivity behind it. And that's, like, one of the biggest things in pop culture of the year. Like, for people who have been so excited. And, like, I was working at a Halloween store, and you wouldn't believe the amount of Black Panther costumes I sold. And it was just, like, a huge pop culture moment, arguably the biggest of the year. And, like, what a great movie they delivered us. It would have sucked if it sucked, you know?
Yeah.
But,
I mean, this isn't my answer for later on, but like Kendrick Lamar had a pretty good year for his music being in trailers. I can know of 3 of them offhand. I'm like, wow, like he had a great year. He's not my pick for question number 3. I guess, or maybe, I don't know. But like his music style, I've like because I love Black Panther so much, I like went back and listened like to some of his older stuff because I hadn't really like listened to him much. And I'm like, man, this dude is talented and he deserves more recognition. So hopefully he has a even greater 2019.
for sure. So, talking about TV now, what series did you think had the best season last year?
Well, as you guys know, I don't get to watch TV much. There's only 3 shows I've watched consistently, and that's wrestling, Law and Order when it's on USA Network, and Akshay Panel. Like, those are the 3 that I watch consistently.
It's a good 3.
But I would, and then I didn't think of it until they said it, and it was like, oh yeah, Daredevil season 3, right?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
It was pretty good. I enjoyed that a lot, and I did like much of Luke Cage, but there were just some storylines I didn't quite understand what they were doing with him. But now I might even never know. I don't know, but yeah, I probably have to just go with Daredevil, and then my Law and Order marathons and Akshay Panel Tyson.
Yeah, I got excited for a second because I thought you were going to say the Odd Shaped Panel had the best season.
You did, honestly. I watched more of Odd Shaped Panel than anything else on television.
We did move. That was the arc this season.
I love that side storyline with the new cat Vinny. I'm really excited for the next season next year and how Mavis and Vinny get along. I'm excited. I gotta see the progression.
And we're working towards the wedding. That's gonna be
that will go to every series needs a wedding. Yeah. But I mean, the introduction of Kat this season, and I mean, is there more there? Is she actually the bad guy?
No,
we'll find out.
My friend Kat, not the Kat. But
I knew who he was referring to.
Nice. All right. So which celebrity did you think won 2018?
Well, I'm cheating. I'm picking a group of celebrities, and I'm just giving it to Black actors of this year because they are killing it. Not only in big budget movies, but in small indie movies too. Like we mentioned, Black Panther. We have Black Klansman. I didn't see this one yet, but The Hate U Give I heard was pretty good, and it's the all-around talent that was just going on this year, and how I think I read an article about them having one of the biggest domestic box office years ever, and not just counting from the success of Black Panther, but just like in total. And I am really here for it, and I just think, well, for all people of color as well, because especially with the successful like Crazy Rich Asians, I'm really excited to see more diverse stories being told, even if it's like the same concept, because we're all human. Obviously, we all go through a lot of the same stuff, but seeing it from a different person's perspective, I'm really excited to hope to get more stories of that being told, because if this year of any year showed anything, is that people are going to go out and support and see those movies, because we didn't get to see them much or on a large scale in previous years. So that's why I think I would say black actors and people of color.
Yeah, because Asian actors had a great year too, with Crazy Rich Asians doing so well, and then Sandra Oh being the first Asian American actress to win multiple Golden Globes. So yeah, diversity is definitely making a lot of progress last year, and hopefully continuing as we move forward.
Sorry.
You're fine.
All right. So one more question for you tonight. What 2019 film are you looking forward to the most?
Well, the obvious is the most. I guess it would be the most commercialized. Would be, of course, Avengers Endgame, because I really am excited to see how they are going to wrap up. I guess it's phase 3.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. And you already spoke about it before, but I really do want to see the trilogy of How to Train Your Dragon, dude. Because I just those movies are just so they're just so great. They're great to just put on and just watch and just feel happiness. Or I know there's some sad parts, but overall, you just love them. But I would say the one that I'm kind of curious about is the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. Because I know they've seen like some stills and showing some of the some clips and whatever. It's just I'm very curious on how they will just portray this iteration of the Joker.
Yeah, for sure. Tom dressed up as Joaquin Phoenix Joker, so clearly we're excited about that.
I'm so excited. And I just can't hide.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure
I'm about to lose control.
There are more movies that I'm pretty sure I'll be sorry for once I like see like trailers and stuff for, especially when it comes to like smaller movies. Whew, excuse me, really, because I don't really know much about them until I see like the trailers or people talking about them. So I'm pretty sure there's some like indie movies that are probably going to be really worth seeing this year, because I feel like 2018 was another big year for indie movies getting some spotlight as well. So I'm pretty excited to see what the not I won't say the small screen because that's not really the correct term, but the non-big budget movies, what they have in store for this year. I'm also excited to see Glass because I before Split, I had never seen Unbreakable, and I know, guys, I know. I haven't really. There's a lot of M. Night Shyamalan movies that I hadn't seen. So I'm actually pretty excited to see I guess this can hopefully a culmination. We just stop it because I don't want this to be like a 10 movie franchise. I feel like put a nice little bow on it. You know, I feel like there's nothing wrong with just stopping at 3, guys. Nothing wrong with that.
Rule of threes.
It's the magic number. But all right, Del, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Delisha Renee. You can find me on Aftermath with Cal Kingslayer, recapping all the WWE pay-per-views as on the Monday after those Sunday pay-per-views, and then our sister show, as I like to call it, After Talk, where we do a more long-form wrestling discussion because there's 80,000 hours of wrestling a week. We can't really go through that on one recap, so we decided to come up with a different show to, talk amongst each other and with the fans in the chat about different wrestling topics as we see fit.
Awesome.
It's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, and I'll throw a link to Cal's channel in the chat on your way up. But thank you so much for joining us, Delisha.
Always, guys. Always glad to talk to you guys and just have fun.
Have a great night.
Best season in television.
Hey, you heard it here first.
We appreciate you, Del. We'll talk to you.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
All right.
The sweetest.
She is. That's it for us tonight. I'm going to throw that link in the chat for Cal and Delisha, who is also on that content. Be sure to check out their stuff. Also, we have a Facebook now. We had a Facebook years ago, and then I kind of just concentrated on Twitter. But now I'm trying to like share articles that we're both interested in and stuff that we think you guys might like. I've been putting up some highlight videos, just pictures of the cats. So you just look for us Odd Shape Channel on Facebook and give us a like and a follow and all like that. Check out us on Discord, Twitter,
all the places.
Instagram. Yeah, just look. Just Google Odd Shape Channel. Turn on your notification, as Momo says. It's a good piece of advice. But yeah, tomorrow I'll be playing Fallout 76 until I have to go pick up Kimber from work. And then actually check out the website, oddshapechannel.com. I've been trying to do better on the schedule. I know at least the next 2 streams are scheduled. I have to fix the third. Yeah, and I've been check out the friends list and all like that on there. And I don't know, anything from you?
No, man. All that stuff. That's it.
Thanks for spending 2018 with us. We appreciate you. I kind of want to do a raid.
I don't know if anyone's on.
I mean, we could see.
If you go for it. If
Let's
you
see.
feel like
Anybody
it.
want to do a raid? A raid is when we just go jump into another channel and say hi. Let's see if anybody's on. Of course, I can't get into my subscriptions from here. We're on. Ballin's on. Do you want to read Ballin?
Sure.
All right, so I'm going to give you guys a link. And then we're going to go in there, and I'm going to give you a hashtag to say in the chat. And then she's going to be so grateful. Yep, well, Kat's already got the odd-shaped raid going on. So here's the link. Oh. And then let's do it.
I'm gonna go see if she's getting it.
She's not even paying attention. She's playing Legend of Zelda.
Odd-shaped raid. Hey, what's up, Tom? How are you? I know you were talking about something. I saw that. Hey, Kimber. Ooh, Kimber's in here too. Nice PG, guys. Shh, PG, PG. Oh, hey, Delisha, how are you?
All right, so that's it from us, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for those who came to the raid. Be sure to like and subscribe. She's a friend of ours from Austin, and she's some cool people. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.